Hey guys, how are you all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. This is our Bitcoin evening wrap up. So we're gonna go straight over to those charts. We're gonna start on the DMT today. We sometimes we miss the DMT out of the videos, so I want to make sure we get it in this time. But yeah, you can see we actually entered a DMT buy here. But obviously that was a bit of a fake out move. But the updated DMT indicator tells you to get out of the trade here anyway though. So it tells you to stop out, so you don't have to wait for this stop all the way down here. And then you can choose to sell it once we're underneath this intermediate term sell line, or you can just wait until you actually get a buy signal again. So it pretty much kept you safe. It got you out of the trade here, and then it's actually putting you long again here. But yeah, you could trade it to the downside whilst you're under the red, under the actual red, the red sell line anyway. It's kind of like how we have the range and stop, where you have like the larger range and then the smaller time frame range. So we could be bearish, but you may want to buy like the bottom of the lower time frame range whenever we get to the bottom of there. So you kind of have to gauge that on how you want to trade. Dominator also got us a couple of sells, a sell here, which the market did go up a little bit first, but then came down after, and then did go back up. But obviously you've got the DMT to tell you to get out of the buy trade here, yeah, that's right, out of the sell trade, that's the one, to get you out of the sell trade. So yes, you can obviously use these two indicators together. We then got the buy here, which didn't really amount to much. We then got a sell there, and this sell was actually a good sell because this candle here did actually wick down first. So it did wick down from the sell level of here down about 1.6%. I'll just show you that on the 5-minute candle, so you just have to take my word for it. Yeah, look, you can see down first and then up on the candle after. We're going back to 15-minute. But yeah, currently now though, we're still in the DMT buy, and we have basically got the signal to enter the actual DMT buy again. So after getting out here, you get back long again here. Obviously if we would broke this line, you would get short, and then you would look for shorts. But yeah, that's what we've got going on with the DMT. So we've covered that now. Range and stop, you can see we are obviously getting a bit more volatility in the larger time frame. Well, I say in the large, just getting nearer to the actual larger time frame ranges, even getting through it here. Doesn't happen too often. Normally the range will actually push down if we are going to go down, like it did here, like it did there, but obviously we did break through there. But yeah, looks like we yeah, obviously looks like we're starting to get some movement back in price, even if it is just more of a downwards drift in the price action. Back over to our main chart, our 4-hour chart with our levels in. So you can see, this is the 4-hour chart, yeah. So you can see we've still basically round sort of the level of this bottom of this triangle. I think I will maybe shift it a bit now. Now we've had a few more touches. Shift it a little bit because we've got a few more touches with candle bodies. Let me just undo my drawing tools, undo my lock. So I mean, maybe this is the better position for it. Yeah, maybe that does look better. Obviously you can adjust these as we go on, but obviously you don't want to keep on adjusting it. But we are clearly still obviously in a triangle. Here you can see that we obviously wicked below. That's not the triangle at that point, but yeah, wicked below, supported there, wicked to it, wicked below, supported there, wicked to it, and we are waiting to see whether we get basically supported here. But this to me, it does, everything looks weak now in this time frame here. So it seems to me that if bears are going to get us through, are going to get us down here, then they're going to have to do it now. And if they get rejected, like this sell got rejected, and this sell got rejected, and this sell got rejected, and this sell got rejected to a certain point, they get obviously they are worried about. That's obviously what the bears are looking at. They're looking at the fact they can't make any substantial lower lows in price action at all. I mean, I know this low wicked down lower than this low, and this low obviously, to be honest, this is only on BitMEX we got this low. On most other exchanges we didn't get this low, so this didn't for the most part get lower than here. So I don't think the bears are looking at this thinking we can definitely take control here. I mean, that just tells me that eventually we are just gonna potentially make a move up and have a bit of a short squeeze, because there are people holding short positions from 10k, and that's perfectly legitimate. Every time there'll be bears that'll be selling every time over 10k every time, and that is how you form the flat top of a triangle. So there you have it. But yeah, so they'll be selling 10k, and obviously they got a big move then. They sold 10k again, got that move down, sold 10k again. Well, could have sold even 10.5. To be honest, these guys probably sold 10k. Some of them got squeezed, and then obviously we got slammed down into. So this is a textbook liquidity hunt, where they basically, the bigger traders wanted to have a big short position to sell us down, and they forced the market up, forced the market higher up, triggered a load of stops, which then obviously had to buy the market up. They got their orders filled, their big short filled, with actually no slippage, because they were selling into the rally. Obviously they would have potentially had some slippage when they were market buying this market up to squeeze us through these stops. But yeah, then they filled a large position up here, and then obviously slammed the market down and made a lot of money, and then they got out their positions. And this is what happens when you get out of a position, and you're a large trader and you obviously don't have the liquidity. You basically end up buying the market a lot of the way back up. So this was obviously a big player's play, a big player play, a big trader's play, big whales play. And yeah, so basically what I'm saying is that there are big players that are selling at 10k, sell at 10k, pushed us a bit higher, sold at 10k, sold at 10k. And yeah, so I mean, once these guys that have all been selling at 10k, and then maybe trimming the position, adding again when we get to the top again, trimming down here. I mean, these are the underlying market psychology dynamics of how this pattern's formed. They are going to start seeing, right, okay, we're not making much progress now below 10k like we were before, and at some point I'm going to have to basically cover this short position and get out of it, also stop selling, and then also I can tell here that the bulls are actually going to start to get a bit more aggressive, and then actually push us basically through. And that is why most of the time, i.e. 70%, maybe 65 to 70% of the time, I mean, these pattern efficacies, these pattern resolution percentages are obviously different on different markets, but triangles do play out particularly well on Bitcoin. So I mean, probably nearer the 70% chance of breaking up. But this is why these markets do. This is the psychology behind market moves. This is the psychology behind the market pattern and what is going on in the market. But yeah, so to me, this is looking like, I mean, we've actually got this horizontal trend line as well. But again, if I can adjust the trend line on this smaller time frame compared to back to the 2017 high, then obviously this trend line doesn't necessarily have to be in the right place. But yeah, I mean, it's looking like we're getting squeezed up. If we get supported here, if we get back above 9,500, and if we spend any time around this 9,500 level, 9,500, 9,700 level, it's gonna look very good for a move up. Even if you're a big Bitcoin seller, you like you have a liquidity hunt here, you would still market buy to push us up, and even just start a big bull run. Just stop selling, because ultimately if there's big players that want to sell Bitcoin, they just got to stop selling for the time being now, and the market will break up and they can just offload their positions at any price they want, up between here and whatever price they want, really. So yeah, I mean, I believe that as a play. We are still looking bullish. Obviously we are testing the bulls resolve, testing the bears resolve, whether they want to grab this market by its horns, grab these bulls by the horns, and then yeah, and then try and get some downside. But yeah, at the moment, for me, it isn't the most likely scenario. Obviously, whilst we are down here, it's more likely. When we get higher up here, it becomes less likely, the downside, and more likely that we break up. Obviously, that's just a function of the fact that we're higher and closer to the breakout level rather than closer to the breakdown level. I mean, that's it, basically. But yeah, but like I did also say in this morning's videos, this obviously does look like a triangle. We can still break this. We can get supported around this level, maybe even get wicks down to this 8,000 level, and just form what will either be a large distribution or accumulation area, and then either break up or break down. So yeah, I mean, that's kind of what I'm looking at the moment. Let's just have a quick look through the TD sequential, because we may be getting some, because we're moving down, we may be getting towards some. Yeah, here we go. We've got an 8 hour 9 at least. 8 hour 9 here. Have we got anything on the 12 hour? Nothing on the 12 hour yet, and we won't obviously then also have anything on the daily either. But yeah, 8 hour 9 and a 12 hour, well, we haven't got a 12 hour 9, but if we hang around this level for like another, basically the rest of the weekend, we could end up having a 12 hour 9 around this 9,200 support zone, which would be, it will be a good risk reward trade to buy that on a breakout above that candle. As you guys know that I trade this TD sequential, how I trade it. But yeah, yeah, that's what we've got to see. We are making a little bit of a move up at the moment, a little bit, nothing spectacular, but this is the zone. This is here. If we basically if we re-establish a trading range between 9,500 and 9,700, so it's only a $200 range, but it's significant. It's significant in relation to this bearish price action here. If we regain this level, and then especially then, I mean, push over 9,600 and start trading anywhere above here, I think that's it. I think we are then going to break this 10,000-ish zone. Well, this actual top of the triangle is a lot lower than 10,000. How I've got it drawn, I've got it drawn at, well, it's only drawn at 9,800 and something. So yeah, I mean, we can definitely be looking at a takeout of this zone, and then yeah, bull run 2020 it is, guys. So yeah, yeah, I got a nice little pump going on here. A nice little green I can see flashing up on my screen. Obviously, in the context of the 4 hour candle, we can see it's nothing major. We've obviously got this trend line. I mean, this is the point that it will start to become a bit more important. I mean, to be honest, this is drawing the wicks. I mean, I could put this trend line down to here, so it's just covering the bodies, and we have broke that. So on the basis we broke that, if you were looking at that trend line, you could potentially say we are going to go up to about 9,600 now. Not now, but soon. Soon as in like between this range here, which is like between now and like the next 4 hours. 4 or 5. No, sorry, these are 4 hour candles with now and like the next day. Next 12 hours. But yeah, yeah, we could break out this formation and get back up to about here, and that obviously is looking very bullish. I then would expect a retest of around here, maybe some wicks below, and then I would expect us to try and hold and play out this range and start to squeeze up like we kind of did here. Like we got above first, we started to test it. Obviously we broke above it then, but yeah, squeezed above, and then got above, but eventually got rejected. But next time, if we do this next time, we're not going to get rejected, basically. and there is the definite facts. Not really. It's not financial advice, and obviously nothing is definite. But if we get back up here, bearing in mind a triangle has about a 70% chance to break into the upside, especially in Bitcoin, but because Bitcoin just seems to like triangles, but also the fact we're at the top of the triangle, at this end of the triangle as well. I mean, you could add another 10%. This is talking like once we're here, once we are trading here. I mean, you could probably add another 10% onto that, and you have about an 80% chance that we're going to break up. So yeah, that's what I'm looking at here, guys. Not really much else to say. I've pretty much gone through my thoughts. I hope you guys find that interesting, how I talked you through how I look at an ascending triangle, because this is how I view the market. Whenever I look at market and price action and what's happening, I am always thinking, what are the bears thinking? What are the bulls thinking? What are the big trader bears, bulls thinking? What are the big bear traders thinking? What are the market movers, the market manipulators, the people that are just pushing this market about? What are they thinking? And what are they doing? And this is why patterns form. And I mean, you could TA people, they look at markets and they think, right, okay, they see like the one, it's not one, TA is not one dimensional. Price action, I guess, is just the price, the number is one dimensional. I guess looking at the price is two dimensional, but then looking at what people are thinking and what they're doing and why they're doing it and what they hope to achieve and the games they're playing, because all these moves, there is a trader that's pressing these buttons, or a group of traders, or traders that are basically following each other, that are pressing these buttons and executing trades. I know, like, we trade whatever size we trade on, like BitMEX or whatever exchange, and we don't affect the market. We're just in it for the ride. But these guys are literally the movers. There are people moving these prices. A person moved this price. A person or trader moved that price. And these guys, they are thinking about, what is the market doing? How am I meant to maneuver my big size around in a way that I can make money and not cause a lot of slippage, and how I can do it. And that's obviously why we get a lot of these bar formations and I get a lot of these wicks in Bitcoin, because they are big boys playing in this market that can that basically are just having a field day. They're having an absolute laugh with this market, and the only thing they need to worry about are bigger traders. The only thing they've got to worry about are bigger whales that are then going to use them as liquidity. So yeah, I mean, that's it, guys. And that's all I've got for today, guys. Anyway, right, so it's not financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I've done a few other funny videos on Jerome Powell today. If you want to have a look at my YouTube channel, it's only like 40 seconds long. I got a bit bored and thought I was going to try out some video editing and stuff. So yeah, check that out if you want, guys. And yeah, and I will speak to you guys. I'll speak to you guys tomorrow in the morning.